Good evening, everyone. How we are doing today? How you doing? 8 p.m. Nigerian time. I hope you're doing good, and I hope you've joined us live. I want to see where everyone is joining from tonight. So if you've joined us, kindly let us know where you're joining from. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here, and I'm excited to see you join us tonight. Wherever it is you're joining from, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, please let me know you've joined and kindly just put in the comment section so that I will recognize you. I see one person has joined already. Let me know where it is you're joining from, right? I'm really keen about confirming where it is you're joining from. I have a wonderful guest with me tonight, and she's here, she's ready, she's good to go. Waiting for you to join. I see Food Gallery. Good evening from Instagram. How are you? Thank you for joining. Right, please do well to share the stream to everyone. Food Gallery, share the stream. Let people know that we are here, and we're live. And I have a fantastic guest that is joining me tonight. Right? You ready? Are you ready? For those watching right now, let me see where it is you're joining me from. I want to be aware. I want to know where you're joining me from. Where are you joining this stream from? So just tell me your name and tell me where you're joining from. I'm excited to have you join us tonight. Okay. All right. So tell me your name. Put it in the comments wherever it is you're joining from. Put it in the comments. Let me know where it is you're joining from. To. Um, I'll be really glad to bring it up and talk about where it is you're joining from. All right. My guest is ready. She's here already. She's in the green room waiting. So yeah, I see Gracie. Gracie says from Lagos. Welcome, welcome, Gracie. Thank you for joining. So please, I need you to share the stream to everyone. Share it. Let's keep sharing. Let's invite more people. Let them know that we're live and that we're ready and that we are good to go. Tonight on Winning with Customer Service, my guest is here. She's in the studio already, and I'm excited to have her here. Um, Also excited to have you here, wherever it is you're joining from, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I see Tohodis and Food Gallery on Instagram. Thank you for joining. Promises to be a wonderful time tonight. So let's keep being here. Don't go anywhere. Please, if you're joining on YouTube, I see you guys, and on Facebook, please kindly put your name in the comment section. I want to be able to identify you and welcome you officially to the program tonight. My guest tonight is no other than Omowunmi Akingbohungbe. I hope I got the name correctly. Akingbohungbe. Yes, I think I got it correctly. She's here with us, and she's going to be sharing her experience in the customer service industry, and also she'll be sharing with us, most importantly, about her new book, and it is titled "Oops, Customer." Her new book is called Oops, and I'll just pause the oops there and allow her when she comes to tell us more about it. But let me introduce her first by saying that Omowunmi Akingbohungbe is a certified customer service trainer and executive director of Women in Management Business and Public Services, WIMBs as they are popularly known, and is a globally recognized certified nonprofit committed to advancing women leadership. She leads and supports initiatives that promotes women leadership, as you already know. WIMBIS has positively affected hundreds of thousands of women. And Omowunmi, like I said earlier, is the author of Oops. I said I'll leave the other part, but let me tell you, the client is upset. If your client is upset for whatever reason, you should listen to Omowunmi today because she'll be sharing with you how you'll be able to correct that. She worked for FCMB. She also worked for Stanbic, I think, yes. She's done a lot of things, but I will let her come on, and once she comes on tonight, she will introduce and tell us more about herself. Everyone joining from Instagram, thank you for joining. I would like her to come and tell us more about herself. So I'm going to be introducing my guest tonight without wasting any further time. For those that are just joining, please do share the stream and also If you can put your name in the comment section so that we know that you're here. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Omowunmi Akingbohungbe to the stage tonight. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening, Dr. Shego. I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to join us tonight to do this. I've always looked at what you do because there's something I do. Let me confess. Everybody who's in the customer service space online, I follow them because that's my space. So I see what everyone in that space is doing. So once you are in that space, you have any hashtag in customer service, customer experience, because I'm following you, right? So that's how I got to know you and meet you, and I began to see that there's a lot you are doing already in the space, and I'm glad to be connected with you and to know that you are doing this very so. I'd like you to formally tell my guests who you are. Let them meet you formally from you.
All right, thank you so much. And just like you, I also stalk customer service people to online. So you're not alone when it comes to doing that. Well, like you rightly said, my name is Omowunmi Akingbohungbe, and I'm the Executive Director for WIMBIS, Women in Management, Business and Public Service. It's a non-for-profit that has been in existence for 24 years and passionate about inspiring and empowering women to attain leadership positions. But before Wimbase, I started my career as a banker and I worked in the banking industry for 18 years. FCMB, Skybank, Stanbic IBTC, like you've mentioned. And in most of these roles that I played in the bank, I had quite a number of client facing responsibilities from customer service to strategic partnership management, private banking, offshore banking, and all that. So spending those time definitely made me appreciate the work that the customer service officers or client facing professionals have to do on a daily basis. But at the same time, it also made me realize how this has helped me as an individual to become a better person and even get to navigate the challenges of life better. Like you rightly mentioned, I'm the author of the book called Oops, the Client is Upset. And that book came from my years of experience with dealing with clients of different, diverse background, temperaments, and exposure as well as expectations. And I put together that book after writing a survey, after conducting a survey to find out the most challenging part of the job of a customer service officer. Now, I use the
Mm,
word customer service officer, but for everyone in the client facing role, you are a customer service officer. And when I did this survey, engaging entrepreneurs, like you mentioned, contact service agents, those that deal with clients virtually and those that deal with clients physically, sales representatives, and all of that. So they had different options to pick and even had the option of adding, but something stood out. Over 50% of them, I think about 52, if I recall probably correctly, mentioned the fact that having to deal with angry customers was the most challenging part for them.
I agree. I agree.
So I said, okay, it was important that we talk about that. And that also made it very mandatory for me. I became very passionate about the fact of giving this the voice and also amplifying the challenges that client facing professionals have to deal with, trying to also call the attention of business owners, organizations to this and how they can make that role better experience, even for the customer service officers. It shouldn't always be about the customer, which we tend to
Mm,
focus on a lot. We get to say, oh, the client is right, the client has to be happy, this, that, but do not
customer is
neglect.
king.
Exactly. So I guess that's me in a nutshell, if I would not say too much.
Fantastic, fantastic. Um, your banking experience, and but just introducing yourself now. A question just jumped in my head, and I think I should just pop it out before I follow the process. Is the customer always right? From what you've just
Hmm.
said, because your book is facing the other side, that normally people would talk about how you can treat the customer right, how you should take care of the customer. But your book is talking about how you can also maintain the side of the customer service facing officer, right? So
Mm.
knowing that customers will come with their challenges, customer service officer will try to attend, your experience from the banking sector into non-profit, and this many years of experience, is the customer always right?
So that term, customer is king, customer is always right, customer is this. We need to understand, I don't want to say sarcastic now, but there's a context to it. So you're first of all on that role to attend to your client, to meet up with their demands and the complaints that they have. You're there to make things easier for the customer because we're in business because of the customer. So that's where that term comes from. Customer is always right. That you should have that at the back of your mind. That engaging your customer is not when you want to start proving points. You know, when you're arguing sometimes with your friends and all that, you might want to prove points. But when it's the customer, you're not supposed to be out to prove a point. So that term, customer is always right. I'd say yes and I'll say no. Yes, from the context of whatever it is that we're doing, we're coming from the mindset that our client is the reason why we are in business.
We're here.
And even sometimes when they come complaining, when we even feel, oh, it's not our fault, it's not our this, it's also a learning point on for us to be able to see what can we improve on to avoid such next time. So in the
True.
instances where I say customer is not always right, we've had instances of a client just coming with transferred aggression. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You have done
Mostly.
everything right. You have attended, you've rendered the service that you but some just come and just don't like the look of your face or the way you were smiling, or you just did one thing or the other in one way or the. So there are times where they come with transferred aggression. Still, at that point, it's not where
Aggression,
you're
true.
supposed to be proving a point. That brother or auntie that is upset at that point is still always right with whatever complaint they come with and all of that. So that's how I will answer that question.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I want to tap into the depth of your experience in the banking sector, especially as it relates to customer service that we're talking about today. You know that many people will tell you that service delivery in these more formal sectors are more, planned and prioritized as compared to people in the SME sector and all of that. What in your opinion was it that these organizations you work for, the Stanbic, the FCMBs, what was it that they did customer service wise that is different from what entrepreneurs in the Nigerian ecosystem are doing now?
Okay, so you know, when something is documented, there's a clear process of how things are supposed to be done. Number
Mm,
one, when you're being onboarded as a customer service in a financial institution, we know it's serious business. People don't joke when it comes
yes.
to their money. So you sort of need to have there's a training you would have gone through to have that understanding for the role that you're being played, that you're playing, that you're here for these reasons, and there are performances to be measured. So documentation is one of the first thing that I'd say would differentiate structured organizations from that. Most of these financial institutions also have what they call a service charter, which is like their promise to their
Mm,
customer on what they want and what they do not want, how they will they promise to deliver excellent service. And as a client facing role, you are also sensitized on all of that. And we also have the instances where we document when issues arise. So if it happens, what happened, what went wrong, there's a review process that is going to be done. And how can we avoid such in the future? But most times when it comes to small businesses and all of that, we just go with the wind and the weather. There has to be that formal engagement with your client facing.
structure.
Exactly. Don't wait till when you are very big to want to start considering that. It becomes more difficult. Just you can simplify it. This, so we have zero tolerance for this, whatever the case may be. And if something goes wrong, even if it's a simple exercise book, let's have where we are writing it. So that when the boss comes around, there's something to
Yes.
refer to review and check what we can do better next time. But again, in the midst of it all, do not neglect the emotional tolls of your client facing officer. So you expect someone to smile, you expect someone to be empathetic, you expect them to be this, but they cannot pour from an empty cup. So if I'm supposed to be customer service officer, and you are putting me from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the 7 p.m. in the evening, and I'm still supposed to be
PM
smiling
in the
and
evening.
all of it would tell. It would tell on the
Even
person.
even makeups don't even makeups don't stay from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Abio. It would. So you have to be mindful and put
All right, so
structures that
I'm
will
going to talk more
that
about.
would happen.
Fantastic. I'm going to talk more. I'm going to ask you a question more. We're going to go deep down because that's what your book mostly talks about, how you are able to maintain the sanity of your people who are facing, the customer. But before we go there, you've talked to us about this building the structure in the more formal sector, like in the banks where you were. You operate in the NGO space right now, being the executive director at Wimbiz. By the way, congratulations to you guys at Wimbiz. Wimbiz is one of the platforms that a lot of people look up to. Yeah, in Nigeria, many of us look up and learn for what you guys are doing. I know a lot of women from my city who align with what happens at the Wimbiz, and because you guys are doing something properly well, what is that thing? My question now that you guys are doing, even as an NGO, that keeps people keeps the customers attracted to you? What's the main factor? What's the thing underneath that keeps everything glued together?
Uh, Thank you, and thank you for the accolades. I'll always take that joyfully. Um, so still
Welcome.
on structure, if you look at the history of Wimbiz now for the past 24 years, there's been sustainability and consistency. We've seen some people come into start up an NGO sometimes, and they say this is what they want to do today, and tomorrow they are doing something else. That way you lose traction. So being consistent and being clear about what you want to do. As an NGO, we have our vision, we have our mission, and we have our core values that is guiding every other thing that we do. We have our pillars too that is guiding even the initiatives that we decide to embark on. And when we decide to embark on those initiatives too, we have clear deliverables and what we want to be able to achieve. And there's always room to also review over the years. What can we do better? What can we make to improve and all of that? Stakeholder engagement is also another key thing that I'll refer to. You cannot operate in silos, just the same way we're talking about customers. Um, we have stakeholders in Wimbase, and we are deliberate about ensuring that we engage them, whether they are delegates, associates, life members, sponsors, and partners. You have to have your clear stakeholder engagement strategy to ensure that, and that will start with you mapping each stakeholder. So your customer that is in this business, they have their different needs and expectation compared to another set of people. So that those are the key things that I would say has helped: sustainability and consistency, and then documentation of guidelines. When I
Wow.
resumed now, I had things that was handed over. This is it. Read through, but you don't need to start figuring out this is like there's history to refer to
You don't
as
need
to
to reinvent the
why
wheel.
we exactly.
All right. My next question would be: how are you able to, now that you know that there's a structure in that banking environment where you were before, there's a different structure in the NGO environment where you are in now. How are you able to transit? Because a lot of people are watching right now, watching this later, are people who are in paid employment. They work for an organization that is very structured, and some are trying to transit to, entrepreneurship, starting their own business and all. what was it for you that helped you manage the transition from there to here?
Okay. So in my case, I've not always been a stranger to the non-for-profit sector. Even when I joined banking, I my desire as at then was that I'll be in banking for a couple of years so that I can get the corporate structure environment before I then transition into NGO space or social impact space. But I ended up staying 18 years. It was a good experience, a good learning experience, and all sorts of exposure that gave me. But while in banking, I was always still in that space. So I would say, first of all, if you really want to transition into something, you have to be serious about it. It starts with you being able to desire and also take action. So, as busy as it was for me then in the banking industry, I always find time to volunteer. I always find time to do my own social impact initiatives. I have an NGO that I run called To Love Initiative, focused on children in the less privileged, in the low income communities. And I've been running that for over 10 years. Consistently, every year, I hold an annual summer camp, hosting minimum of 100 pupils. So when I take my annual leave in the banking space, I'm there at the Call to Love summer camp. And that also made me know so many other people in that space doing related things.
In that space, yeah.
Exactly. At some point, I even left banking. I was with the Tony Elumelu
Mm.
Foundation. I worked there as a project associate and moved back into
Oh
banking.
wow.
So I've always been in that space. Yes, I've always been in that space. So that made the transition easy. And
All
of
right.
course, I knew what I wanted. So, and there's one key thing I would say in that regard, because I know how difficult it can be to when you are in the 9 to 5. And people always say, "Hey, it's difficult for me to be able to do my side hustle or do any other thing alongside or volunteer and this." But I say this is the secret. This is what helped me. Because whatever you're doing, that is your 9 to 5, and you have a boss that you're reporting to. We all know how we fear our bosses and we fear appraisal time. If your boss decides to add that
Mm.
side hustle or that extra volunteering to your KPIs, to your deliverables, you will do it because now is your boss making it
Sure.
mandatory. So if it's something you really want to do, make it mandatory for yourself. Make it your own KPI, and somehow you will find the time.
Awesome. Awesome. So everyone who has a 9 to 5 must deliberately take the skills, take the learnings from the 9 to 5 environment and begin to pour it into their 5 to 9 so that they begin to grow. Uh, just give me a few minutes. I have some power issues. Let me solve my power issue.
So
I'm
I
almost
blink.
back. Uh, just a minute. Okay. I'm sure I'm good now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm back. All right. All right. So you've told us how you're able to manage that. Now you are in the NGO space and a lot is happening there. You mentioned just now that you were with the Tony Lumelu Foundation and all of that. I'm going to ask you, Ma, before we come to talking about your book and the issues that customer facing officers face, right? What do you think entrepreneurs are not doing with the benefit of your experience from where you're coming from, right? What do you think entrepreneurs, SMEs, nano businesses, what do you think they are not doing correctly, especially as it relates to? You can talk about what they are not doing correctly generally, and then what they are not doing, especially in customer service, and then give us a solution to what we can do correctly. Because I have, like I said to you earlier on, quite a number of them watching here, and they would definitely want to glean from your experience, knowing where you're coming from.
Okay. So before I talk, just to give some background on why I have authority to be able to say this, because sometimes some people will say, she doesn't know what it is, all this and all of that. I
She
run
doesn't know what she's
businesses.
saying. Has she been there?
Exactly. I run businesses too. I have a retail store, a mini mart that I run. I also have, I've started from the scratch a tissue paper factory in the past. Set it up, produced a converting tissue factory, serviettes, customized tissue boxes, and all of that. I've done that. Eventually, I sold off the business so that I can streamline all the things that I am doing. You cannot
Of
overemphasize
course.
the bit of having structure in place. For my mini mart,
Mm.
as small as it is, there's still a small handbook that I give to the sales girls when they come on board. This gives them a little bit of insight on what this business is about and what is our promise to our customers. For my mini mart now, it's convenience that we're selling because everything that I have in that store is what they can get in
Mm.
any other place, but it's strategically positioned in a
Mm.
location where it's easy and accessible. The mini mart even runs like a drive-through. You can park in your car and order everything that you want, and we just bring it to you and say it there. So for every sales girl coming into the store
Wow.
to work, they understand that our core value is convenience. So if a customer should park and is lazily ordering everything from the car, you cannot be the one that will be saying, hey, come down now, come and take it and everything like that. You're looking for trouble.
Because that's what you're actually
Convenience.
selling. That's what you're actually
Exactly.
selling.
It's not the
Wow.
product. It's not the product,
Wow.
it's the convenience that we're selling. So we
Mm.
even tell them, oh, we can deliver to you as soon as possible and everything. So if we say we are delivering within 1 hour, it had better be less than 1 hour. What we're selling is convenience because they can get every. I don't manufacture all the items in the shop, so
We need to sorry man. Sorry man. We need to dwell more on this. People need to know what they are selling. Most people, right, you rightly said, are not selling the product. It's the proximity, the convenience with which the customer will get it. Because that same thing you are selling here, they can get it there. But because you are here, what you are selling is wow. This is this is. Go ahead, man. If this is the only lesson we get here tonight, it's fine. But go ahead, man.
So having that clearly communicated to everybody coming on board, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. Just make sure that everybody joining your small business has a sense of direction of where we are all going and how they fit into their puzzle to make it complete. If you need to break it down to the language that they understand, because I know as small business, everybody that you are employing will not be graduates. So their level of understanding will differ. Even for your security guy, his level of understanding will differ. So you need to be able to break it down to everything that they will understand and buy into that vision, no matter
Mm.
how mini the vision is or how tiny it is. And you can also not have everybody be your target audience. So in my store, for instance,
Mm.
I say, okay, my target audience is Lekki axis. So if I want to deliver and you are in Kituwenji, we'll tell you this is our radius. Don't try to be everything because it's when you
Yeah,
now
just so we
try
know.
to overstretch yourself and then you're not meeting up on the deliverables. Those ones that you didn't meet up with are upset. The core ones that you also want to serve now are feeling like you don't even have their time and then you lose out and you are even frustrated about it.
Mm.
So define your target market and don't overstretch yourself because growth is gradual for SMEs. We've seen SMEs who want to just blow overnight. If you want to blow overnight, it has
Yes.
to, but you need to have the structure, the right employees, the right training that they need, the right understanding that they need, and documenting. No matter what complaint that happens, you must write it down. Just put it down. I always tell my people, you will forget. We are not computer. We are not AI. You will forget.
True.
Write it down as it's happening, as it is hot, fresh. Write it. I'm not always there, but
Yes.
I sit down with that complaint book and look through. And even when what they wrote is not detailed enough, I'm able to ask questions. So what happened here? How did we now resolve this, that?
Yes.
Without understanding, they even know what to escalate to me and what not to escalate, because easily they know how, when this issue happened the last time, this was how we resolved it. So it's a process and it's gradual. Let's just do it gradually,
I
gradually. But
agree.
the most key thing I want to end with is the fact that if you are putting anybody as the face of your business, don't shortchange them. Ensure that you also sensitize them well, because they are the ones representing you, and make sure that they are okay. So treat them well and
True.
sensitize them well.
True. Fantastic, fantastic. This is a good lesson for MSMEs that are here. If anybody is representing you and is in a customer facing role, first of all, you have to treat them well. Because if you don't treat them well, the customers will not treat them well.
They will not even
Yes.
treat your customers
And
well.
so, if also you don't treat them well, exactly. If you don't treat them well, they will not treat your customers well, because what you give to them, that they will multiply and give to your customers. All right. So for those of us just joining us right now, we have been speaking with Omowunmi Akingbohungbe. She's the executive director at Wimbeys, with experience in the banking industry. Now in the non-for-profit, she's in the non-for-profit space, doing very well. She has been sharing with us on what you need to do as MSMEs to improve your businesses, and also, streamlining to your customer service delivery in your business. She says you must treat people who are front facing in your business. You must treat them well and give them the necessary training and give them the necessary materials for them to be able to deliver their job. All right. For those of us just joining, if you have a question for Omowunmi, please do put it in the comment section. We will take them as the program progresses. But in case you are not aware, she's the author of Oops, the client is upset. And the sweet thing about this book, it is not just telling you to treat the customer right, treat the customer right, treat the customer right. Nice, 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 nice. It's not just telling you about treating the customer right, treating the customer right. It's telling you about how you can also treat yourself, that just relating with customers online, you make a post and put it there and put your price and put everything in your caption. They still come to you and ask you, hey, what is the size? How much is it? Do you deliver to Lagos? Can you, when is the delivery? And they ask you all kinds of questions that wear you down and tear you out. And then they expect that you are talking to them and still responding to them the same pleasurable manner you were responding to them at the beginning and the end. We were talking earlier on just, and I said, even makeup does not stay the same way it was in the morning. No matter how fantastic the makeup is, it doesn't stay the same way in the morning as it is in the evening. But customers are expecting you to be the same pleasurable person in the morning, be the same in the afternoon, be the same in the evening. Tell us what your book talks about and how it can help us.
All right. Thank you so much. Like you rightly captured, the book, Oops, the Client is Upset, is speaking more from the angle of a customer service officer. So I believe there are tons and tons of books out there telling you about how to be the customer service officer that is always on point, how you should listen, how you should this, how you should that. But this tries to address the emotional hurdles that customer service representatives face on a daily basis, with the exposure of dealing with different customers, different demands, different expectations, different temperaments, but with special focus on angry people. And if you agree with me, especially in our Nigeria right now, there are so many angry people. Very, very angry. Everybody's just
I'm
vexed.
telling you.
They're just vexed. So when they come to you, where they know that your role is to come with that heart of customer is king. They dish it out, knowing that whatever it is, you should be able to take it. But I recognize the fact that this has its own, um, so trying to come up with the human side of a customer service representative. So yes, we're there in a professional capacity, and we're supposed to be all smiley and understanding, empathetic, and all of that. So what do you do when you have such situations, when you're in such roles? I've met with clients facing professionals that are like overwhelmed. They've just had enough. When anytime they wake up on having to go to that
Yeah.
same that
Yeah.
role on a daily basis, they are dreading it. They're just tired and all of that. So how do you get out of that? How do you recharge? How do you re-energize? How do you stay vibrant and still pleasant in the midst of it all? And one of the key things that I started with in that book is to first of all make us understand that we're human. And when I say we are human, I'm not even just talking about you. Even that customer, those series of customers that you're engaging with are humans, and humans are emotional beings. That means whatever it is we are dealing with, we can only
Yeah.
express ourselves through our emotions. And emotions can be angry, it can be happy, it can be sad, it can be frustrated, it can be anxiety, it can be all sorts. So, first is just know that even if you're faced with an angry customer, he's just being human, he's expressing his emotions, and it is normal. So I think first that's the first. Just accept that it's normal,
Sure.
because once you can first of all prepare your own mindset in that bit. And I also try to celebrate the role of being a customer service officer. It's a very good privilege if you maximize that role, because you are the fact that you have exposure to different people is a good thing. It helps with your networking, it helps with your
Yeah.
understanding of people. There are some people that immediately I see them, I already know the kind of temperament this one is coming with, what this one wants to say, what is the way this one will go, and everything. That's
Mm.
helped with the psychology of understanding people. So, as a customer service officer, embrace that
True.
role. That there's so much more that you can learn to develop yourself. And some people are looking for where they will have the opportunity to interact with people. You've been given on a golden platter.
Yes.
People pay for where they can get to interact with
And
people. But
and you are being paid, and you are being paid to interact with
for
people.
doing it. So see it as a rare privilege, and embrace it. And embrace it. I also say that you should also see it like an heroic role, like you're wearing a cape, because people come to you because they feel you have a solution to their
With all
problem,
kinds of problems.
and we solve them. We do from time to time. They go, oh, this is all your complaint. Okay, don't worry, hold on. This is that. Even if we don't solve some instantly, some we solve eventually. So it's a hero. You're a hero, and you
Mm.
should embrace that. So celebrating that role and
True.
embracing the benefits that can come with it. Some of the great connections that I have today was from the moment when I was a customer service officer, because some people, even when they were at this level, couple years down the line, they are there, and I can boldly say, ah, this person, I know this person is my client, this is that. Some of them I see them on TV today, and they say, ah, I know this person. You understand? You have that
Yeah.
rare privilege of connecting with so many people. So for every connection, I
True.
try to make the best of it, because there's power in knowing people, and you have that on a platter
Sure.
of gold. So I say celebrate that role, embrace it. It comes with its vices, it comes with its issues, but embrace it. Embrace it all.
True.
So when you accept it that
Fantastic.
this is normal, you will be able to better understand and manage your clients.
Very well. All right. Thank you so much for that. Embracing the role, will make you not feel the punches that are coming even on that role, because a lot of punches will come. One of the sharpest part of the human body is what deals with you as the customer facing officer, the tongue. For those of us that are Christian, Bible says life and death, is there. It can kill, it can make alive, just just by what it says, and then you are going to be dealing with people that uses this. Aside from embracing the role, ma, what should we do? I see somebody ask a question. What should we do? Let me just take that question. What should we do when customers are, becoming funny? For example, the customer is being sarcastic with you. You are being serious and answering, their question, but they are being sarcastic, and you want to be serious, right? How do you expect us to handle such kind of people?
So I also talked about setting boundaries, and you can set boundaries professionally. Now, I mean, it's a good problem when a customer is being funny, sarcastic, and all of that. But you're not there to attend to one customer, because the moment you're even spending too much time on a particular client, you have others waiting.
True.
So indulge the customer, smile to one or two of the jokes being cracked, appreciate them, and then politely let them know, is there any other thing you would want me to help you with today, sir or madam? And at that point, the sarcasm or the funny jokes can still start and all of that. Politely to you, let them know, oh, that you really have to move on to the waiting client now.
True.
Thank you. Smile at the joke and even make one or two comments to relieve them of their of their duty, and then let them know that you have to
To
move
move on.
to another customer. Yes, politely.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a final question. And so, for those of us watching, if you have a question, you could please put it in the comments. I would throw it at Madam Omowunmi. Sorry, she would be able to answer that while we still have the time. But my final question to you, Ma, will be: give us a step-by-step guide on how to handle an angry customer when they come fuming and they want to bring the roof down, right? And they come in front of you. What's the step by step approach? Especially, I'm going to add this: when you know that what they are saying, it is not your organization, it is not you that is wrong. They are the ones that are wrong, but then there's a misunderstanding. Give us a step by step approach on how you should manage this.
So it's interesting that you mentioned that, because in the book, I actually first of all started it with a true life story of a
Okay.
client who came barging into the banking hall ready to give it to me hot, hot, hot. And
Mm,
like you mentioned too, by the time we dug down into the issue, it was really his fault
not your
at
problem.
that
Yeah.
point. Exactly. And despite when we even made it clear that it was his fault and everything, he was not even apologetic about it and all of that. So you have instances like that happening. But if I'm giving you all this step by step, then it means your people will not buy my book or attend my workshop.
All right.
Well,
So you want to get the step by step approach on how to manage an angry customer. You need to get oops because the
client is
client is
upset.
upset. That book would be able to give you a step by step guide, right? You can actually, those of us that have businesses, you can actually put it, let your staff each one have a copy of the book, and they look at it. And so if this happens, this is what we'll do. Yeah, so what's next? They have it like a guide. In fact, business people, you and every of your staff should have a copy of this book, and you guys should use it for training in your organization over and over again to be able to manage the customer. I said that was my last question, but I still have one more question now, and that would be, I beg your pardon, uh, that would be on how do I manage myself as a customer facing person. I'm customer service officer. I'm the business owner. I'm the one facing customers. How do I manage myself after all this barrage? One of the things you said we should do was embrace the role, right? Embrace it that this
Yes.
is what I'm doing. I'm a superhuman. I'm Superman. I'm solving people's problems. But how do you manage your mental health? If it's affecting you emotionally and all of that, how do we manage that?
All right. So one of the key things that I do, um, like when I was in the core front of customer service, where I mean there are instances where I'm like at the front decks for like 6 hours at a stretch. You have to be deliberate about making yourself comfortable. Where I'm sitting, am I comfortable? Is the area cool and this and that? Even the clothes I wear, am I comfortable? Because all those things they matter. By the time you find out that you're just cranky sometimes all of a sudden, it's really because there are other things that are adding to all of that. So first of all, your own comfort is very key. I've also talked about not taking things personal. When you embrace that role and you see a customer badging coming, immediately take that mental note. Even if this brother is coming with abusive words, it won't penetrate. I'm only trying to listen to get the root cause of the issues and how to prefer solutions for that. So it's not the time for me to be, it's when the customer says, are you okay? Are you mad? Are you say, no, I am okay. How can you say I'm not okay? That one is not the issue. Don't focus on that, because that's when okay, let me chip in some of the bits of the book, because when angry people come, they're coming with a baggage.
Yes.
And when they come with that baggage, they are looking for who to drop it on. The moment you start taking the abusive words personally, you have collected the baggage willingly by yourself. Now you have
Yeah.
that baggage on you. They can dump it on you and move on. But if you can manage that situation properly and not take all of those negative baggages personal, and just focus on
Mm.
what is the root cause. Oh, was this person is either is just transferred aggression, or oh, we really did a disservice in this area, and let's quickly look for how to resolve it. And when I say don't take it personal, it's not the case of when you to now give that stern look
Do
like
like
talk all
I
that you
don't
want
care.
to
I don't
say.
care. Do
Exactly.
whatever you want to do.
So, yeah, you need to still have that empathetic disposition, that oh, you feel the client's pain at that point in time, and you are showing that you are actually eager to resolve the problem. You also don't exchange words, it will only escalate things. So you have to
True.
quickly um just quick, and when you know that this is something that is certainly beyond you, let the client quickly know that oh, I might have to escalate this. Oh wow, this is really 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 out of, I need to escalate this at this point. Please be patient, I'll be with you shortly, and things like that, to quickly manage the situation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ma, for that explanation. In fact, somebody's asking on Instagram, how do we get the book? So I'm going to say, you want to share with us how we can get it? I wanted to say they should DM you on Instagram and they get all the
Yes, they
details. Is
can.
that good enough?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can DM. It's on
All
Seller,
right.
it's on Amazon. You can order e-copies or hard copies. And for those still getting hard copies, it comes with a gift when it's been delivered.
So if you fantastic. So you need to DM Omowunmi Akingbohungbe, and you'll be able to get the book. For those of you asking on Instagram, you'll be able to get the book there, right? Well
Yes.
done. Thank you so much, Ma. And then there's this final question. I'm going to let you go in a bit. My people are now popping up with questions, right? I know you explained this earlier on. Ronche obviously joined later. Uh, this was one of the first things I asked you, and maybe we'll explain on the final note again.
All
Is the
right.
customer always right?
Wrong she. I'd say yes and I'd say no. Now, yes, from the perspective of you as a business, you are in business because of your customers. So, whatever it is that they say, you take it at their right. They're right in the sense that something has upset them in relation to your business, and you have listened, because listening is very key. I also would explain that from the angle that when a client is upset and they even express it to you, see it from the positive side too, that this is something that can also happen again, but you have an opportunity to understudy and prevent it from happening again.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't mean that the client is always right. We've seen tons and tons of example like that, where a client comes angry, transferred aggression for reasons that you're not guilty for. Some things going can even be weather that is default. It could be it could be the country's policy. It could be any other thing that could be the issue. But it's also giving you a room on what to improve on, how you can improve on managing such situations when it happens all the time. So the term customer is always right. It's coming from the angle that we understand that these customers are the reason why we are in business. If you say you are okay, I think you're an event person or you are into catering, and you
Yes.
cater and you
Invent
cook
and
and you
catering.
do all of that, and there's nobody to buy your services or buy your food, you're on your own. So that's the angle that the customer is always right coming from, so that even us as a business, we have that sense of direction that we don't want to lose every customer no matter how small they are. So we come with that disposition of they are always right. But literally, mm-mm, instances where things are not what you can do, it does happen, but you still have to just have that mindset of na customer now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think on that note, we'll be wrapping up tonight because you've touched every aspect of what we need to know. Somebody's asking for your Instagram handle. I'm sure if you go
Okay, I
to
think
my
I should be
post,
able
you
to. Aha,
yeah,
exactly.
or if you can, if Roots can, type it out on the comments. But if you go to my post, you will see a handle there where I collaborated with her. I'll be able to share also after now. If not, I can't get out of this where I am right now. I would have been able to give it to you. But I see who is asking. For real, I would share a handle with you. All right. If you are watching this after now, wherever you are watching from, I hope you got value from what Omowunmi Akingbohungbe shared with us. She's being with FCMB. She's being with Stanbic. She's now at Wimby. She's executive director at Wimby's, doing so much in that space. She was one time at also the Tony Lumelu Foundation. So she's been everywhere. And all that experience put together, she has put it in a book. Oops, the client is upset, right? That book is a compendium of all her experience and then what she thinks she needs to do to be able to attend to the customer. By the way, mom is going to be in Ghana on the 19th. If you're my people in Ghana, Akwaba, all my people over there, she's going to be at Labadi Beach Hotel in Accra, sharing about the book and how it can help front facing customers. We want to talk a little about that.
Yes, thank you. So the Accra event is a wellness workshop actually for client-facing professionals where I get to do a deep dive and talk about how it's called service your mind. And most of everything that I mentioned today is about how you need to prepare your mind not to take things personal, understanding that emotions are normal and things like that, angry, happy. So it's like a workshop to dig deeper into that. And we also help customer service professionals to distress and offload
Yes.
the trauma of the past that they've been uploading and all of that, and then send them forth to be able to
Do better.
face the new. Exactly. So that's what the workshop is about. It's called Service Your Mind. It's a wellness workshop for client-facing professionals, and it's happening at Labadi Beach Hotel on the 19th of this month. It's a free session for client facing professionals. Limited slots available, so you have to register. And then when you register, you get the access code. Thank you. And there's the
Fantastic.
next version of that happening in Lagos, but that will be later in the year around December.
All right. We look forward to the next one happening in Lagos. But for my Accra people, all my Akwaba people, you must be at
I
Labadi
look
Beach
forward to
Hotel
seeing you.
this Saturday. Mention my name. Tell her that you're from Shegumano and you're joining the Wellness Conference. Aronsha Event says thank you, ma'am. And I want to say a big thank you to you, ma'am. If I tell people how I got you to be here, they'll be shocked. The power in the DMs, right? There's power in the DMs. Many people don't know that, but you're here. I want to say a big thank you. If we're going to pay for this, I will not be able to pay, but you've done this and you shared your experience with us. Thank you so much, ma'am. I owe you. I don't owe you one. I owe you plenty. I owe you plenty. So if ever you are in my city worry, please let me know. I owe you a special pot of banga soup and starch
Ah, mm. I
on
hold
me.
you out for that. Thank you
Not a
so
problem.
much.
Once you're in my city, let me know. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you. We look forward to doing bigger things with you. God bless you so much, man.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Say thank you to Madam Omowunmi for joining us tonight, and thank you also everyone who joined us. And if you are watching this after now, you can put your comments in the comment section of where it is you're watching. Hopefully, she'll be strolling by to see your questions and be able to answer them after now. Thank you all for joining. Do have a good night. Thank you, Ma. Enjoy your evening. All right. Thank you very everyone for joining. And for those of you still saying thank you to her, thank you, Chidiebube, Daniel and Neoma. This was very helpful and educational. Thank you so much for joining. Aboyowa Ogundikpe says thank you. Um, who else? Jacinta says thank you. Um, Delta Events TV say thank you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for always being here. Let me give you an expo. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about branding. I have someone joining me from the United States of America, 8 p.m. If you want to join in on that, it's a private session. But if you want to join me, DM me, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Just DM. I'll give you the link to join. My daughter from the United States of America is going to be sharing with us branding for startups. That's not winning with customer service. So it's for my private group, the business readiness course. We would be having that branding for startups, and my daughter will be joining us on the United States of America to teach us on branding tomorrow. She's supposed to be teaching the business readiness course called one, but I'm opening it to you that is watching right now. If you're watching and you want to join, DM me. I'll give you the link tomorrow to join. Okay? Yes. If you're interested, DM me. DM. All right. Have a good night, everyone. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Ciao.